there, this is Carrie Gatto with Keller Williams Realty, and today on Let's Get Down to Business, I'm talking to Vikki Zachilli, who is the owner of Minted Mindset Financial Coaching. Hi, Vikki, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to have you on the show. Could you briefly describe your business for us?
Absolutely. So, Minted Mindset is a financial coaching business, and it's focused on providing personal finance education, creating realistic systems, and building sustainable habits with your money. And as the owner and financial coach behind the business, the first question I always get asked is, what is the difference between what I do and what a financial advisor does? And most people understand that a financial advisor helps you plan for the future and invest your money to fund that future. While I do help my clients create a plan for the future, I don't hold the licensures to provide specific investing advice. So my coaching business is based around the day-to-day actions that you take with your money. And there's probably 5 main actions, among other things, that I help my clients with. So the first is that I help them organize. We create an organized system for managing their money so that they can clearly see where it's going. And then we dream together. So we craft a very detailed vision of what they want their life to look like and the goals that they have, whether it's paying off debt, savings, or leveling up their income. And then I provide motivation as they go on their journey. So changing your money habits takes time, and naturally motivation wavers over time. So I'm there to remind them why they started their journey and get them back on track. And I also provide accountability. And this is probably one of the biggest things that I find people struggle with. So with the most love possible, I call my clients out if they don't do something that they should. And I help them identify and break down the roadblocks that are causing them to self-sabotage. And I do all those things without doubting my clients' abilities or judging them for what they're spending on, forcing them to do things that they don't want to do, or giving up on them. So I will always match my clients' level of commitment. And all of those things allow me to do my favorite part of financial coaching, which is celebrating that with them. So whether it's them updating their budget for the first time, or paying off their first debt, or hitting their first savings goal, I make a really big deal out of it.
Awesome, I love that.
Thank you.
And what inspired you to start this business?
So my business was born out of a passion that I found through my own financial journey. Back in 2018, my husband and I's days were filled with childcare drop-offs and work meetings. And then, we would get home from picking up our 2 girls to rush through dinner and bath time and bedtime, only to sit down on the couch and remember that we forgot to pay a credit card bill. And so we would pay that bill, and then it would pop into my head that the gymnastics tuition is due. And I would realize that I had to pull from savings in order to cover that. And this happened several times. And each time that feeling of shame or guilt kind of crept in, and I would, feel that weight of like, I should have remembered these things. We shouldn't be moving from savings, because what if we needed it for an emergency? And what we were doing just wasn't working. So even though we were making great money, we felt financially stuck and like we should be further ahead. So I decided to start educating myself on budgeting and how to pay off debt, negotiating raises, and all things personal finance. Once we knew better, it was a process to recognize that we had to change our habits to unstick ourselves and reach the goal that we had set for being debt-free other than our mortgage. And over 17 months, we paid off $70,000 in debt. And
Wow.
it still shocks me, honestly.
Yeah,
But
that's a big
I
number.
remember, I remember when I hit submit on that very last student loan payment, the weight just like came off my shoulders, and I wanted to like throw confetti and run through the streets screaming, and I wanted everyone to feel that way. And so I've been on a mission since then to make that happen.
Wow, good for you. That's awesome. So, who is your ideal client?
I would describe my ideal client as my husband and I 5 years ago. So I love working with couples who have young children, and many times the moms are the ones that are handling the finances. They're usually facing some confusion around where their money is going. Like they have that feeling of we should have more. And sometimes it's that they and their partners just don't see eye to eye and they want to have better communication around their money. Or sometimes they just have really big goals and they're just not sure how to get there. But what I love about my clients is that they're usually very family centric. Quality time and providing experiences for their children are really important to them. And they're craving finding that balance between life and money.
Mm-hmm. Great. And why is it important for someone to have a financial coach? Like, even if they have a financial advisor, for example?
Absolutely. So I could probably spend my entire time talking about this, but I won't. I won't subject you to that. What I will share is that according to the APA, money and financial problems are the top cause of stress in the US. And over 70% of Americans report that they feel anxiety over their finances. And let's be honest, money touches every aspect of our lives in some way or another. And when we're having those feelings of anxiety from it, it makes it hard for us to communicate effectively with our partners, to parent with patience, to excel in our careers or practice self-care and like so many other things because our brains are preoccupied with the stress. So money coaching and having a financial coach can help you reduce that stress and anxiety over your finances. I mean, imagine if you didn't feel worried about what your bank account was, like the balance was, if you had enough for an emergency and didn't have to worry about that, or what your life would look like in retirement. I mean, there would be so much more room for joy. And money coaching is a lot like personal finance, money coaching is a lot like personal training in that most people could go to the gym, piece together their workouts, and get the results that they want eventually. But with a personal trainer, they're likely able to reach those results faster. And having a financial coach like myself in your corner will allow you to reach your money goals faster than you would normally.
Okay, that's a great analogy. Is there anything that you found that you've learned since you started your business?
A lot of things. But I would say the biggest thing is that, you know, I try to implement this in my business as well, is that there's no one size fits all financial plan. What works for one person might not work for another because you're managing your money is largely based on your habits, and everyone has different habits. So when you come to me for financial coaching, you are absolutely not going to get a templated plan. Like I said earlier, we're going to craft a very detailed vision of what you want your life to look like, and then we're going to create a customized step-by-step plan to show you how your money can make that happen and build realistic habits for you to make that vision happen.
Interesting. Excellent. And do you, as a mompreneur, we know you have two kids, right?
I actually have three now.
Three now. Oh,
Yeah, so we had a
amazing.
pandemic baby in the middle.
Even better. Do you have like a mompreneur moment that you could share with us?
Sure. I would actually say I have a series of repeated moments, and it's actually happening right here as I sit at my desk. So my workspace is actually a small pull-down desk in our playroom. So
Mhm.
while you're getting a nice clean background here, if I were to turn my camera around, you would likely see sheer chaos. I think that really represents what it's like because as moms and entrepreneurs, we have this kind of nucleus of space, both physically and mentally, where we run our businesses. So it might, it's usually surrounded by chaos, whether it's physically at your desk, where it's between toys and art supplies, or mentally, like when an idea pops in your head, but then it's also accompanied by remembering sports schedules and appointment times and meal plans and birthday reminders.
Yeah.
But I think it's such a beautiful thing to witness both in myself and with fellow mompreneurs, what we're able to create and build amongst the chaos.
Beautiful. And I'm in the same boat. I have my office in the playroom.
I think a lot of us can relate to that.
And where are you located?
So I'm located in Milford, Massachusetts, but I actually hold all of my coaching sessions virtually through Zoom. So I work with clients from all over the US.
Amazing. Great. And lastly, Vicki, what's the best way for people to reach out and contact you and learn more?
Sure. So I offer a free Q&A call because I know talking about money is, can be vulnerable, and I want my clients to feel as comfortable as possible. So it's 20 minutes for us to get to know each other and be able to decide if I'm the right coach for you. And the best way that you can contact me is either by email at Vicki@mintedmindset.com, by phone at 508-507-8754, or on my website, www.mintedmindset.com. And you can also follow along on Facebook or Instagram at Minted Mindset FC.
Okay, excellent. Well, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom today and more about what you do. I really appreciate it. It was great to
Thank
meet you.
you. It was my pleasure.
Thanks for watching, everyone. And please reach out to Vicki and learn more about what you can do for your minted money mindset. And we'll see you next time on Let's Get Down to Business.